Hi, it's Alyssa Truman here, and I am super excited to be bringing Suzanne Mosley, an executive leader with Usborne Books and More, and she is going to be sharing with us some of her best tips on hostess coaching. So welcome, Suzanne.
Thanks, Alyssa.
So we're just going to get right into it. Suzanne has always inspired me with her hostess coaching. So one reason why I wanted to bring her in this, but she has a super awesome hostess coaching system she uses called Pump. Does not tell me if you want to do it, just like pump you up or something. Anyways, so Suzanne, just dive right in. What is the first thing that you do when somebody says that they want to have a party with you?
Yay. Well, thanks for letting me talk with you today. I'm excited to talk with your team. So the first thing I do when someone wants to have a party with me is I ask for their mailing address and their email address. So I ask for those two things because I go ahead and set up their e-show. So I need their email address, so do that. And then I ask for their mailing address because I want to ship out a hostess packet to them as soon as possible. And this day and age, I currently am doing primarily Facebook parties. So these potential hostesses that I'm talking to are primarily for Facebook parties. So I decided to send packets to my Facebook party hostesses because I was doing that for my home party hostesses, and that goes over well. But primarily because of a past experience that I had as a hostess for another direct sales organization, I wanted, I'll just go and tell you, it was Pampered Chef. I wanted one $18 cute little roller thing to use my pizza dough. So my neighbor sold Pampered Chef, and I asked her if I could have a catalog party because I did not want to have a home show. And this was several years ago, so no one was doing Facebook parties at that time. So I asked her if I could have a catalog party, and she gave me 5 catalogs, and I passed those around, and it was a $1,000 party. So I figured that my hostesses, my Facebook party hostesses, would benefit from having catalogs like I did. And so that was kind of what gave me the idea to do that. So,
yeah. Suzanne, what do your Facebook party hostesses do with these catalogs? Are they going out collecting orders with them, or what do they do with them?
Okay, great question. So I encourage them to pass them around to their friends because sadly there are people in America that have never heard of Usborne Books and More. So if my hostess is talking to potential party guests and she says to them, hey, I'm having an Usborne Books and More party, they may say, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is. So when she has a catalog ready to show them, that is helpful because, as you know, our catalogs are beautiful and they really do sell the books themselves pretty easily. So I encourage her to use the catalogs to get her friends excited, to get guests to her party, but then also for her friends, I encourage her, if she has friends that aren't on Facebook or who can't for whatever reason participate in the party, use that to take orders. I still usually send them to the e-show link, the hostess's party link to order, but there have been a couple of hostesses that have messaged me orders, like a paper order, but primarily, even when she collects the orders, I still send her to the e-show link to have them order there.
Okay, so you mail them a catalog. Is that all you're giving them? You just put a catalog in something and that's all they get?
Well, I give them a few more things, and that's part of my little pump strategy. So the first one is packet, for P. is packets. So in the packet, I send them a catalog, a large one and a small one. And I send them a little document that my team leader created called 60 Guests in 6 Minutes. And it's a little document. It's similar to Frank. Some people use Frank, but it's just a little spreadsheet kind of grid where there are different categories of people in their lives where they can brainstorm who to invite. I send them and the last thing I send them are some postcards that came in my consultant kit. And that's part of the way that I get them to call me on the phone. That's the U part of pump, is use the phone. I talk to all of them on the phone. And so when we're messaging back and forth, oh, sorry.
We're talking about, these are Facebook party hostesses, and you are not messaging them on Facebook. You're actually picking up a phone and you're calling a Facebook party hostess?
Yes, I do. It's a little strange, but I love it. Because I really want to get to know my hostesses. Some of them are friends, but most of them now I don't know at all. And it helps me to just get to know them better and hear their why about why they're hosting. Because if I know this is for their kids' birthday presents, or like I have one hostess, she always donates her books to her kids' school library. So if I know those things, it gets me pumped up, and I'm ready to be a huge advocate for her and work really hard for her party once I hear that.
I love that. So you're basically using their why to help excite you for making that party the best party you can make it.
Right. Because I want them to get a lot of books, particularly when I hear why they're wanting to host. So that helps me do that. And kind of just as far as recruiting, it's been a great byproduct, talking to them on the phone and personally getting to know them. I've had, one of my team leaders makes so much fun of me because most of my recruits are former hostesses, but I didn't really think about that when I started, but a lot of the hostesses have ended up joining, and I really think it's because we've gotten to be like really good friends, just from talking on the phone. And I don't talk to them like multiple times, usually just that initial call, but then we're messaging back and forth and those kind of things. But a lot of them we're tight now. And so some of them approach me, or then I will, turn that back on them and just, hey, have you thought about doing this? And then they join. So I didn't think about that at the time, but it has been a great byproduct.
So P, we send the packet. U, we use our phones. So when we're calling, we're finding out their why. Do we also go over the stuff that you sent in the packet with them?
Yes. So that's how I get them to talk to me on the phone. Because when I've talked to other consultants about this, they're like, how do you get anybody to agree to talk to you on the phone? So when I ship them the packet, I just tell them, hey, I've shipped you the packet. Let me know when it arrives, because there's some things that I sent to you that I'll need to explain why I sent what I sent. Plus, we'll also need to go over the logistics of your party. And I have never had a hostess not agree to talk to me on the phone when I explain it that way. And part of that, I really think they're probably wondering why am I sending postcards to them, because it's not a home party.
So why are you sending postcards to them?
Well, that is the M in pump is make a goal. So that's one thing that I do with them on the phone call is I share with them the whatever the monthly hostess special is for that month. And I tell them, hey, like this month it's an extra $50 in free books. When your party gets to $400, you get an extra $50 in free books. And I want you to get there because I want you to get those extra free books. I mean, why not? $400 is the average party. You can totally do it. And so right then I'm helping them make the goal. I let them know I want you to have a $400 or higher party when I'm on the phone with them having that conversation. And I feel like helping them have that expectation gets them more motivated to actually invite their friends to the party. So that's the M. And then the P is provide tools. And so that's why I send the catalogs, and that's why I send the postcards to them, because when I had my party with Pampered Chef, I'm not very salesy, and it was intimidating to me to bring it up with people because I didn't want people to feel obligated to buy some. My husband is a pastor, and so a lot of these were church friends, and I didn't want them to feel like my pastor's wife asked us to buy some Pampered Chef. We have to, I was just nervous about causing like a ruckus. So I just, the thing that made me more confident was that I had a catalog in my hand when I talked to them. Hey, no pressure. I'm having a paper chef party. Would you like to look at a catalog and see if there's anything you need? Just by having that tool, that catalog, gave me the confidence that I needed to get over that roadblock of just my nerves and just intimidation to talk to people about it. And that's how I also encourage them to use those postcards as well. Is just, I tell them, hey, keep them on your person, keep them in your purse, fill out the e-show link. And then whenever you're at Target or you're at the carpool line or you're getting together with some moms from a mom's group for a play date, just have them with you. And then if you've forgotten to invite them to your party, that's a great time to do it. And you have something to give them. You have a reason to bring it up to them because you have this postcard or this catalog to give to them. So that's the P, is provide tools. And I feel like that has, I mean, I can tell which hostesses do that and which don't. It's not a perfect system, but the majority of them do. And most of them tell me, okay, good. Like, I'm glad you gave me that. Because I just feel like most people probably like me and intimidated to bring it up, but with their friends. That's always like a roadblock that I get with hostesses. So, yeah.
So we're all pumped up. Yay!
You're pumped up.
So you sent them the catalogs, you made the call. Do you do anything else with them? Do you hostess coach them, or do you just kind of like show up at the event and we're all good to go? What do you do during, like, we'll say the week leading up? Do you connect with them at all?
Yeah, I usually, I give them a little script that I've written. I tell them to personally invite their friends, and I do all this on the phone call. And I tell them, hey, have you been not invited, have you been added to a party on Facebook by someone you haven't talked to in 15 years, and all of a sudden your notifications are blowing up and it's for some product that you don't even know exists, and yada, yada, yada. And 99.9% of them say yes. So I do a little role play. I'm like, okay, well, how does that make you feel? And all of them say it makes me feel like that person only is looking at me as a dollar sign. They only want me to come because they want to buy something, so they get more free stuff. Or they say it angers me. Like, why didn't they have the decency to ask me before they added me to whatever it is? So when they're saying that, I don't even have to tell them this. Like, I've brought them to that conclusion on their own because they're saying all these things that how it frustrates them. And so I turn that back to them and I say, okay, well, that is not how we want your friends to feel about your party. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to personally invite everyone to your party. So use the 60 guests in 6 minutes document that you have, and then I will give you the script that you can use to personally invite them. And it asks them if they want to be added to the party. So it's just a generic little paragraph that I wrote, and I tell them to communicate with their potential guest however they normally communicate with them. Because, we all have friends that some we text, some we Facebook message, some we email. So just however you would normally communicate with them, use this little script, edit it to make it usable, and then invite them. And once you hear back from them, that's when you need to add them to the party. And I feel like that personal invitation makes the party better because she has preemptively told them about the party. And so it's kind of on their radar. So when they see it, they join the event as soon as they start getting notifications for it, they're like, oh yeah, this is the party Alyssa told me about. Okay. The books, children's book. Okay. I'm here. And I also tell them that my Usborne team, that we don't focus on having the masses at our parties. We really want to have, it's quality versus quantity. And I just explained, some direct sales companies probably do it differently. and I feel like that's important. And if they've ever hosted before, or if they're with another direct sales company, I just explain this is how my Usborne team does it. So I just really encourage them to personally invite and personally get a yes, thumbs up from these guests. And then and I also I give them a goal, because this kind of bit me in the backside a couple of parties ago, because I've had very small parties where there's maybe 5, 6, 7 people there, and that's it. But one, like the example I like to give was a friend had 12 people in her party, and I think she only had maybe 7 or 8 people order, but it was a $900 party. So I used to use that as an example, like, hey, it's okay with me if you don't have 50 people there. Small parties are okay, and they usually do well. Well, this recent hostess, she only had 4, and her party wasn't that great. So now I've gone back to, again, making a goal, helping them make a goal. So I tell them, if you'll have 15 to 20 people in the party, that's a good number to shoot for, to have an average party of $400 so that you can get the monthly hostess special. Yeah.
So, sorry, my brain stopped there. So you message them a couple times pre-party. Do you give them any other suggestions or reminders of things on how to interact with the party?
Yes. Yeah. I ask them, and sometimes I'll do it on the phone, or sometimes just, because usually I'll do the initial phone call and then we'll message back and forth, or however we communicate. Some of my hosts I text, some we talk on the phone again, or some we just Facebook message. And I'll just say, hey, I'll check in a couple of days before the party. Hey, I'm so excited about your party. How's it going? Inviting your friends. Have you heard back from anybody? So I do try to mention it again so that they're staying on top of it. And then I also give them just one last little generic script. Again, this is for a Facebook party. That says, hey, I'm hosting an Usborne Books and More party this week. Would anybody like to be added to the party? And again, that gives them the opportunity to just kind of generically put it out there. And if they have friends that they don't realize already know and love Usborne, that they probably haven't thought to personally invite, those people always respond, I love Usborne. Yes, add me to the party. And I'll tell them, you'll usually get 2 or 3 other people that way. But I tell them not to depend on that. But that's another good way to, to find out about the party. So, I ask them I don't give that to them until about 24 or 48 hours before the party starts, because I don't want them to only invite people that way. Because that's kind of my party with 4 people. That's all she did, despite much hostess coaching. So,
okay. So wrapping it up, what would you say is the number one thing you would want to tell your team? If you could only tell them one thing right now about hostess coaching, what is your number one tip? Nothing like putting you on the spot to come up with the one tip that we want you to take away.
My one tip. It would probably be to talk to your hostess on the phone. I have not always done that. I've been with Usborne since July of 2014. And my first couple of Facebook party hosted, one of them I knew, she was a college friend. So we naturally talked on the phone because we hadn't talked in several years. So it was good to reconnect. But the next one we didn't. And I could tell that I'm like, oh, Rachel's party was awesome. And actually, I think the next one was Rachel. Her party was not as great. And what I figured out, I communicated only with her through Facebook message. And what I figured out, even though I gave her that information, I don't think that she did anything with it. So I've just found that the phone it gives me a sense of accountability and structure, because I know that I've given them that information and I know they've heard it. If it's in an email or a text or a Facebook message, I can't always guarantee that message has been received. And I'm a little bit of a control freak, so this kind of helps me. But the phone, once I started calling my Facebook party hostesses, my parties in general have been way better. And again, the natural byproduct has been that I've had a lot of hostesses join, and that's how my team has grown, was because I've gotten a lot of recruits that way. And really the tool was the phone. So, and I will say, I'm not a phone talker. I do not like to talk on the phone. But now, because of Usborne, I do like to talk on the phone because it's made that much of a difference in my business. And if you do the colors, I'm blue. That's my second. Green's first, and then blue is next. So I'm kind of geared that way anyway. But if you're not, I would say to stretch yourself, because your hostess she will be, I feel like my hostesses are more proactive as a hostess because they've
Hello?
and then I've also
we lost you there for a few seconds.
Connection is experiencing difficulty. Is it working now?
Yes, we're good now.
Yeah.
We lost her.
I'm back. Yeah. And then
your connections are better with your hostesses because you're talking with them.
Yep. Yeah. So use the phone, and it can be scary, and it's okay. Use a script if you need to in the beginning, but then I have it like in my brain when I say with them because I've just done it so much now, and it really does get easier. So I'm glad I faced my fear with the phone.
Well, we want to thank you so much for helping us pump up our hostess coaching. And thank you for taking the time to just answer some questions and help us be able to learn a little bit better. Have a great day.
Glad to help. You guys too.